All right. So, what's on your mind today? What are you thinking about?
I would want people to know that we have firmly and surely entered the era of behavior. Now,
What does that mean, behavior?
well, responsible and good behavior has always mattered, but I believe that it matters more than it ever has and in ways that it never has.
So you really think in a whole new way that success is tied to values?
Absolutely. Tiger, Goldman Sachs, Lehman,
Right.
Toyota,
Right.
the Massey Mine. These are institutions and people in large and small ways behaving irresponsibly, but doing so in a hyper-connected world that has turned us into a hyper-transparent world, where our behavior is under scrutiny like never before. But another consequence of hyperconnectivity is that we are not only interdependent, we are morally interdependent. Where selling a subprime mortgage in California and shipping it to the East Coast and bundling it with 1,000 others and then shipping it halfway across the world has in fact
But
damaged.
don't you say, oh my gosh, if we are connected to everybody's bad behavior, aren't we really doomed?
Just like we can cause harm, think of the good that we can create because we are so connected. Look at Tom Coughlin, right here in this town. The owners of the New York Giants said to him that if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're out. He was known as a distant dictatorial figure. He used to put buckets on the field and tell his players that if they don't throw up into the bucket, he will assume they didn't practice hard enough. Instead of hunkering down and being more controlling and dictatorial, he started to speak to players about performance on the field, but out behaving off the field. He created a leadership council in the locker room of the New York Giants and let the players decide on key football decisions, on what it means to be a champion, and they won the Super Bowl. Why did he have the courage to go on a transformational journey of going from a command and control boss to a connector and a collaborator? Why have the last 5 Super Bowl winners been won by Super Bowl coaches who don't scream at their players, when we grew up thinking that playing football is being screamed at? And they're getting something about the fact that we are in the era of behavior. And how we relate to our people, how we relate to customers matters, but is the source not just of surviving, but of thriving.
So if you owned one of the big banks, what would you do in this moment when they are the targets?
Today, I'd come forward and say, you know, fundamentally, we've been running a casino. We have disconnected from our purpose, which is to safeguard the capital of others or to fuel the innovation of others. Banking is a conservative profession. It was never intended to be so innovative inside itself. And we are going to get back to what we're here to do, which is to fuel the innovations of other people.
So why aren't they doing it if it's good for business?
They've been in the grip of situational values. And I think that society needs to figure out that when 40% of corporate profits come out of Wall Street, the whole country has gotten lopsided. And our future depends on innovation and thinking sustainably. And the best and brightest people are coming out of college and all flocking to Wall Street, but going to other industries. And when that happens, and we have this cultural shift, I think we're going to have a great future.
Won't it be millennial if doing good is where the big bucks are?
What an irony, right?
Yeah,
That
right.
Well, virtue has and always will be its own reward. But there's something about the way the world is working where it's practical to be principled. And that's good.